So I've had my home gym for a while now, and even though I love it, there are some things I would probably change if I could do it all over again. Now, typically when I do these gym equipment review videos or home gym builds, I always say buy nice or buy twice, because even though a lot of times people want to save money initially, if down the road you're planning on upgrading, you're going to end up spending more than if you just bought the right equipment the first time around. And that's the route that I went when I bought my own home gym. But again, that being said, after I've had some time to train and really put this stuff to use, there are 3 major things that I would likely change about this home gym, and we're going to talk about it in today's video, so you don't potentially make the same mistakes that I did. So let's kick things off with the centerpiece of my gym, which is the Rogue RML 690C Power Rack. Now don't get me wrong, this thing is badass. It's a joy to squat, bench, and do bicep curls in. But that being said, if I could have done it all over again, I would not buy it for my home gym. Now I say home gym because I feel that this power rack belongs in a private or commercial gym. It's really that heavy duty. Now for home gyms, most people have 2 things at top of mind when doing their builds. Number 1, how much does it cost? And number 2, how much space does it take up? Unfortunately, the 690C doesn't do well in either category here, so it costs me about $1,750 and takes up roughly 24 square feet. If I could do it all again, I'd likely pick up the little brother to this rack, which is the 490, and all I'd lose is the back post where I currently have plate storage. But I could easily just move that to the back side of the 490 and still be able to squat and bench without any. The next mistake I made has to deal with the weights themselves. I initially purchased some of Rogue's competition bumper plates because I really wanted calibrated weights, and I thought that they'd really save my basement floor from wear and tear. But I soon learned, however, they took up way too much space on the bar and weren't very ideal for powerlifting. Plus they said CrossFit on them, and not a lot of people like that. But then I made the decision to go with some real competition plates, so I picked up a set of Ivancos. And I went this route because at the time they were the best deal available. Eleiko was way too expensive, and Rogue had yet to release their own set. And while I've really enjoyed the Ivanco set, I've had a few build quality issues with them. So for instance, upon receiving my plates, I noticed a lot of them rattled. I think this is because the plugs, which are used to calibrate them to the desired weight, are loose on the inside. And speaking of plugs, one of the 15 kg plates I received was missing its plug entirely. And for some reason, one of my red 25 kilogram plates also seemed to be a different shade of red compared to all the others. And I'm assuming that the paint machine was running low and that eventually they changed it out, and that's why one shade of red is different than most of the other ones on there. And finally, with the competition collars I bought, one of the insides began to rust and flake out almost immediately. Now I will say that Ivanco customer service has been great, and they sent me a new 15 kilogram plate as well as a new replacement collar, but for the cost of what I paid, I just expected a little bit more. So if I could do it all again, I'd actually buy Rogue's competition steel set instead, and the biggest weight. The last mistake I'll talk about is in regards to the platform I built. While I think it's done a great job protecting the floors and giving me a sturdy surface to lift on, it does have its flaws. The first issue is that it's way too big for my needs. Now, normally speaking, the bigger the better in most cases, but for a home gym where I only really need the platform protection on deadlifts, having an 8x12 area just doesn't make sense. I believe one of the reasons I went this way was because most of the builds on YouTube were for Olympic platforms at the time, where more space is desired. On this same note, I regret using as much wood as I did in the middle that I have. I don't find it necessary. In fact, it's much more slippery than the rubber stall mats I have. So this has caused me to need to put grip tape on the wood to keep my feet from sliding as much. So now if I could do it all again, I'd likely just use one layer of stall mat under the power rack and build a standalone deadlift platform that was about 4x8, saving me both space and a good amount of money on materials. So there you go, those are the 3 biggest things I'd change about my own home gym, and that's not to say that I still won't change them at some point, but it's really not necessary at this point. It's just a waste of money, although I've been known to waste some money in my time. Let me know if you've learned similar issues from building your own home gyms at your house. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next video.